Hello everybody and welcome to the intro video for the Denali 2X700. I have it right here. So guys, my name is Dan and I am the owner of Snowcat Mods. I'm here in my wonderful laundry room in Shanghai, China. As you can probably tell from my accent, I am an American. I've lived in Shanghai, China for about 5 years, and I design and build all of my mods here in my home. So I am looking forward to showing you my latest offering, which is the Denali 2X700. So without further ado, why don't we go down below and take a few minutes to check out the ins and outs of this mod. But before we do that, why don't we take a quick rip. So I have a Reload X RDA. I think I have just like a 0.15 build on it with a fresh Molicel P42A. So let's do a quick rip. Woo. There we are. See you down bottom. Hello everyone. Welcome to the down low portion. I am just going to take a few minutes to tell you about this mod, how it works, some maybe tips and tricks to using it. So going over the outside, we see that we have the raised Snowcat Mods logo. We also have this sort of ribbed pattern, and you'll notice that it goes from very sort of deep at the top corner and gradates down to a much more shallow cut at the bottom to give it a little more depth. Along the side here, we have Snowcat Mods. Unfortunately, I can't get the light to hit it just right. We can see it a little bit there, but these letters are cut all the way through the body. So when the light hits it just right, you can see the copper contact coming through on the other side. And then around the back, we have the hole here, the battery window. This has two reasons. One, you can kind of decorate this area, so you can put your battery wraps, show them off, but it also allows you to push the battery through the front of the mod. So we can also look at the connector area. So I'm going to show you this right now. Just give it a quick wipe here. So as you can see, we have a hybrid connector, so we can see the battery, the silver battery contact showing through the top there. And then we can see the copper showing through here. And then we also have a little cutout here. This makes it so that you can push the contact out with some kind of... All right, guys, so let's take a look at the inside of this. So first thing I want to do is take the battery out. Now, first tip I have for you is when you're taking the battery out or putting it in, I recommend turning this a few times to loosen it, and I'll tell you why in just a moment. So I'm going to take my fingers, I'm going to put it through the back, and the battery just comes right out, okay? Now, one of the reasons why I recommend that you loosen the atomizer before you take the battery out is you can see here we have the, it's a hybrid mod, so the 510 pin will stick through the bottom. And if you do not loosen this, as the battery comes out, it will hit this and nick the battery. So basically, if you are putting the battery in or out, or taking it out, I recommend loosening this a little bit. I know that kind of goes against conventional knowledge about hybrids, but as you can see here in the bottom, we have quite a bit of room for spring, so you can screw the atomizer in without too much worry of denting the battery from the atomizer. So I'm going to take the atomizer off now. Put that to the side. So looking at the hybrid connector here, we can see this, and we have this little, I guess it's like a shelf that has two functions. One, this section keeps the battery from touching the hybrid contact, so preventing a short. And two, it also holds the hybrid connector in from falling in a downward position. So one of the things that I wanted to do with this mod and the hybrid connector was I wanted it so that you could easily take out the hybrid connector without any tools. So I travel quite a bit, and it can be kind of annoying going through with your whole toolkit. It gets taken half the time. So one less thing to worry about when you're out and about. So you will notice that this might be a con for some people, so I might as well just be upfront about it, that when there's no atomizer screwed in, this can kind of move around a little bit, really only in one direction, but you'll notice that that kind of unseats itself. However, when you have the atomizer screwed in, which can be represented here, it's not gonna go anywhere. So another quick tip for you. So as you can see here, the hybrid contact is unseated, so it would be difficult for us to get an atomizer on. So you're thinking, oh, what do I do here? Well, it's pretty easy. Basically what you do is you just push the button and it seats right up, and then we just screw the atomizer on. All right, so let's continue. Take this back off. So now let's show you how to take this out. So I just have kind of a little bit slightly pointed object, and I'm going to kind of push down and to the left. So sorry, I'm kind of looking through the camera here, but I'll show you. So we're going to push it through here, and you can see it coming out there. Okay, so before I take it fully out, I want you guys to see this part here is designed to flex. Nylon has quite a bit of flex in it, so you won't really have any problems breaking this part. Just make sure that you're not like jamming really hard. This part will come out very easily, and so we can see it right here. And I have the hybrid connector. So this hybrid connector, very simple design. It's just a plate with a hole in it, basically. And this comes out. You can clean here, and that's all there is to it, really. This is where all the magic happens. All right, so let's also talk about this here. So you can see, it's a little bit easier to see. You have a cutout here for the hybrid connector to sit inside. So from here to the bottom of the connector, right? So basically the distance or the length that you need for your 510 pin is just a little bit over 4 millimeters. I found that pretty much all of my atomizers work with this length, 4 millimeters. They all fit. However, the one thing is that I've noticed is that the measurement of this section here is not standardized, it appears, across all RDAs. So if you have something that if you're gonna be like, I'm only putting one atomizer on this mod, I would double check to make sure that it's at a hair over 4 millimeters, just so that it'll work. But all the atomizers that I have, and I have about 20, they seem to be working fine with this. So let's move on to putting this thing back together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hybrid contact, and I'm going to kind of just stick it in here. I might even take my thumb and pull down on this part just a little bit, put it back in. Okay, and we see it's almost seated. Keep pushing. All right, and there we are. Okay. And let's just measure this part real quick. So we can see that this is about 3.9 to 4 millimeters. It will vary just a tiny little bit, maybe less than 0.1 between each print. And we see that it is correctly seated here. Then I'm going to put my battery in. So I find the battery, loves to fly around while you're doing this, so it's better to just kind of point the side of the mod down. And then one of the things too is that if you see here, the contact actually goes up inside of the top of the body just a tiny bit, like 1 millimeter. So when you put the contact in, you're going to want to put this side in first and then just slide it into the side here. Okay. I would recommend to double check that your lock is working. Okay, it's working, firing. Okay, we can double check that the contact is happening at the top here. Get you to focus. Okay, so we see the contact here. All right, now guys, I'll show you just with the atomizer on, so we can see the hybrid held into place. So let's take a look at that again. So now we have an atomizer screwed in. All right, and it's nice and solid. It's not going anywhere. All right. Oh, excuse me. Next thing is, so like I said, when I put the battery in or take it out, I like to unscrew the RDA or atomizer a few turns. And then let's look at the bottom here. We can see the contact is moving up and down a little bit for us so that we can get some room. And then we screw on our atomizer. It's good to kind of hold your thumb in place because as it's screwing in, you know, it's moving the battery around a little bit. And then we can put in our door. And we're good to go. So yeah, man, this thing is really awesome. It's super small, crazy light. I mean, when there's no battery or atomizer in it, this thing it weighs literally less than an atomizer. So yeah, and then with the hybrid connection and the 99 silver, it makes really, really good contact. It hits really hard, and it's really just great to carry around. As you can see here, this has been basically my daily driver since I got it. So that's about 2-3 weeks. This is an older version that I've made a few changes since this model, but it's good for me. But yeah, I mean, this thing's really great, super small. I love that you can put RTAs on it without it being, you know, a wizard's wand, 3 feet long. Fits in your pocket great. Overall, I'm just super excited about this mod. I really like it. I'm really happy with it. So speaking of atomizers, let's take a look. So I noticed that there were some arguments over the width of this. So we can see it comes in at 27.9, 27.8, 28 millimeters. So yeah, let's also take a look here. One other thing we can look at. So I'm going to take this atomizer off. So as you can see, we have kind of a rolled edge here. So, you know, it makes it a little bit more comfortable in the hand. And I also have added this, we can see it clearly here, this circular portion that goes all around the circumference of the mod so that you can get it right up to 28 millimeters and see zero overhang. In some of my past mods, you might see like, I guess I can show you here. You might see like this gap here, right here, that forms between where the rolled portion of the mod and the RDA or the atomizer. So with this sort of circular area added, you can fit right up to a 28 on there. And then keep in mind, you know, you have a 29 millimeter atomizer, you have 0.5 overhang. That's like almost nothing. So yeah, that's that. Then we can also see here, if we look at the top, we see sort of my classic hand style shape that we have to this. So this is based on the handy line, which there's a lot of cues taken from the handy line, the door, the battery window, and just the shape in general. So you'll find that this is just super comfortable to hold, really in either hand. You know, and here you might think, oh, it's like only for right-handers, but you can hold it like this. You can also hold it like this. This is tend to how I hold it. It's really comfortable. But then also in the left hand, you can hold it like this and thumb fire. So it's really comfortable in both hands. And to be honest too, like if you hold it like this, it's you know, it's not as comfortable as the other way, but it is still fine to hold. So yeah, it's also just a really comfortable mod to hold. I hope, you know, it feels great. It's not too heavy, so you don't really get, you know, I guess fatigued from holding it too long. Yeah. So that's it for the bottom portion. Screw my atomizer back on. Again, guys, with the hybrid, normally you would want to screw the atomizer in before you put the battery, but with this mod it's okay because we have this spring-loaded contact in the bottom here. So take it for a quick rip. And there she is, the Denali 2X700.